Hello and welcome back to Dominator 675 Modeling, and today I'll be explaining which is best, acrylic versus enamel, and the different sorts of paints you can get. So let's talk chemistry. In paints you have pigments, which is the powder that provides the colour of the paint. You have the binder, which holds the pigments together and helps the colours stay. You have the solvent, whether it's made out of oil or water. And you have the additive, which are the flowing agents, etc. So let's look at them slightly more closely. So this is a acrylic 30 Humbrol paint from a starter set I got a while ago. Now you do get, these are the ones you get inside the starter set, and you can get slightly bigger tubs of 14 milliliters like the enamel ones, but these are the ones you'll typically get. Now these provide a slightly less realistic coat, but once again they are paints and they are ideal for beginner modelers. I would definitely recommend these for beginner modelers. So enamels are slightly better, and as we're going to showing you a picture of the animal now, they're in a metallic tin. They do cost slightly more than acrylics, but that is because they come in this metal tin and they cost slightly more to produce. I prefer enamels, but I would only recommend them if you've done a few years of modelling, because it's quite easier to understand the basics of modelling with acrylics, which are slower drying times, rather than the enamels. Yeah, enamels do provide more toxic fumes, and I'll come on to that later, and they do have, it says 6 hours drying time, but I prefer you to leave it for 24 hours to get a proper touch dry. So enamels are my personal favourite, but I can see the uses of both of them. So as you can see the information on the back there, so let's go on to the pros and cons of each of the enamels and acrylics. So as we can see here, if it bothers to load, here we are. Enamels give a consistent covering, it gives a nice finish, it can be applied without a primer and easy to remove from models, but it has a longer drying time, shorter shelf life, harder to airbrush, and less colours are available with more toxic fumes. So the window will need to be open. Now acrylics are quicker drying, easy to thin, useful for glazes or washes, and no fumes. They're harder to get good coverage, but leaves unsightly brush strokes and hard wearing, and tends to peel from your models, which is why better modelers like to use enamels. So here we can see them both, and in comparison between the two, the models around the top have been done with the enamels. It's tough because acrylics are brilliant for beginner modelers and professional modelers, but it all comes down to choice and what you prefer to buy in your model shop. There are a wide range of colours for acrylic, which is why you can use both. There's not many brighter red, yellows and orangey colours. In enamels you usually have to find them in acrylics. So overall, my personal preference is enamel because they give a nicer finish, look more realistic, and they're actually quite more easier to store because you can stack them on top of each other rather than the acrylics. It's, as I keep saying, it is personal preference, so you need to experiment between each one, whether you use oil paints, acrylics, enamels, and they're different companies, but I prefer to use the Humbrol ones as they match with the Airfix kits, which is the main supplier for all the kits I get. Thank you for watching. I hope it answers all your questions about it. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.